The recent ESPN documentary, The Last Dance, explored the psyche of Michael Jordan as he led the Chicago Bulls to 6 NBA championships in 8 years. In particular, it focused on his hyper-competitiveness, his desperate, if not pathological, need to win, to be the best, no matter what, against anyone, and at anything. The documentary makes us reflect on the price of that laser-focused, win-at-all-cost mentality. The price that was paid by his teammates, his business associates, his loved ones, and ultimately by Jordan himself. So to paraphrase the iconic ad slogan, not only could we not really be like Mike, we probably do not even want to. The cost of living life as an unending series of competitions is too high. The reward in the long run is just not worth it. According to the 18th century Rabbi Yonatan Eibeshitz, this was the real issue that plagued the Israelites in the wilderness. This week's portion, Beha'alotcha, tells the story of how they complained about the manna God provided them each morning, literally the bread from the heavens, claiming that they were tired of it and instead desired the variety of foods they enjoyed in Egypt. Rabbi Eibeshitz understands that the Israelites' real problem with the manna was that it was provided to everyone in equal measure. Each person received 1 portion per day, providing ample sustenance for that one day, but no more. As a result, nobody felt especially prosperous or comfortable, regardless of the fact that they were nourished and full at the end of each day, because they did not have more than their neighbors. More to the point, even though everyone had enough to eat, they did not feel that sense of abundance in their own lives because they couldn't compare themselves to anyone who had less than they did. Trapped in this mentality of seeing life as a series of competitions, of endlessly sorting people into winners and losers, they were miserable when God provided for everyone to flourish equally. Rabbi Eibeshitz's insight is especially resonant in this moment with its growing political divide between those who speak of America's international relationships in terms of competitions, so that each treaty, each arrangement is a deal with a winner and a loser. And then on the other hand, those who see America's relationships as opportunities to create a mutually beneficial reality. Rabbi Eibeshitz may also have something to say to the growing divide between those who respond all lives matter to the ongoing Black Lives Matter protests that have crossed the country since the killing of George Floyd at the hands of the Minneapolis police. In both cases, Rabbi Eibeshitz would likely respond that while it may be more immediately satisfying to walk away from the table with a win, or that reforms in the name of equality may feel like concessions, even threatening concessions to those who currently enjoy advantages in society, the harder, yet the better path is creating that rising tide that lifts all boats. At the end of the Torah portion, after appointing 70 elders to share his burden of leadership, Moses hears that 2 more individuals, Eldad and Medad, were prophesying in the Israelites' camp. Joshua, Moses' student and his defender, was appalled, demanding that they be imprisoned, but Moses refused. Would that all the people of God be prophets, he responded, that God put God's Spirit upon them. According to one rabbinic tradition, the message of Eldad and Medad's prophecy was not an easy one for Moses to hear. In fact, it was a prediction of his own death in the wilderness before reaching the Promised Land. But despite this, Moses understood that creating more empowered voices was in the interest of the greater good. Moses' response challenges us to listen to those voices in our own world that are difficult to listen to. At the end of the day, a world in which many prophets are empowered, as hard as they may be for us to hear, is a world capable of moving past petty resentment and grievance. It's a world capable of moving toward a better future, not always harmoniously, but together. Shabbat Shalom.